All right, folks, welcome to a special Friday edition. Wanted to catch up from yesterday. Just could not do it. Just couldn't make it. Too many things going on, and then by the time I got around to even getting close, it was just running so late. So let's have a chill Friday edition and take a look at some charts. Everyone else, welcome in, welcome back, settle in. Yeah, this is a pretty Friday's a pretty cool chill day. I mean, NASDAQ's not that chill, now down 316. We'll get to that in a second. Bitcoin doing what we knew it would do. And then the rest of it, Microsoft, like, look out. Everyone get the TradingView Harmonic Pattern Collection. Okay, that's the one tool, everything that we use here to get killer patterns like that right now. NQ, 30-second time frame. Gartley, look at that. But I'm not touching one long right now. I'm only continue looking for shorts. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, get the software and get over to harmonictrader.com. So if you're looking for that foundation material, it's all free. And again, it's the way I do things because I think the foundation there should be free. People should be able to learn the basics and then subscribe after understanding what you're getting into. Makes it easier actually for everybody. So let's get to that. Let's get to talking some of the bigger charts before we get out of here for the weekend. What's going on with NASDAQ right now is I don't think anybody's surprised. In fact, we're going to look at 2025, and it's crazy. It's where almost day for day, just like 2025. So it just, I don't know. I don't know who's programming that, but it's it's something that it's really interesting how that's mimicking, and then Bitcoin as well, doing really similar things. NASDAQ right now, guys, it's not anything we haven't anticipated, where we've been looking for 24K basically, and now 22.8, which is this larger 1618. So we're finally realizing it. I mean, again, we've been talking about this for 2 months or more. That 1618's toast. We hit that. What's that? This today. So we did hit that 1618, and then the bigger number that we've been talking about also is the all-time, this 382 off of last year. So again, we're going to start pulling on these retraces a lot more, because finally the range broke. You're accelerating. The 382 is 23.2. That's where you're going right now. So great to see everybody. Come on in and chat, settle up. I just got coffee, literally. Like, no way today's happening without a whole nother pot of coffee. So let's get it. Hold on, I'm gonna have to open. That's where you're going. Okay, great. Got to get that other chat up. Yeah, what are you guys doing? Really? How's everybody doing on a Friday? Surprise stream. Hit subscribe and hit like. So when we have these off days, we can get down to it. I do have I've got the dome open. So let's see. I'm looking for a setup here. Quite frankly, I'll keep that on the other side of the screen. But what are the big levels? I'll show you guys the 4-hour chart. Remember this from Tuesday? Pretty amazing. Type 1, Type 2 framework, really quick for NASDAQ. I mean, this was a one-off, one-day kind of phenomenon. 1,000 points, then right back down. And we were targeting 23,883, and now 23,457. Even failed confirmation. So that's crazy. The only level, guys, beyond the weekly 382 that we could consider is what's going on right now. Is this just another 1618 to the downside? Because we're starting to reach for levels. But all of them are like 23,100, 23,200. And then the 382, come on. I mean, at this point, the 382, like at 23,100, is a lock. That's programmed. Now we're going to see what happens here, but check out the weekly oversold. That's not only is that deep, but it's so identical to what happened last year. There's last year. Okay, and then we had a flush week, which I think is going to be next week. I think you're looking at that flush week next week. And check this out. So amazing. Like, here you go. Here's 2025, guys. And people were freaking last year. So we haven't even gotten there. 382 from last year was something like that. And I would say we're more like right there. Third week of March 2025, and then oink, kadoink, big kadoink, and rebound. But we're very close, and we have been talking about this capitulation phase. We got to get oversold kind of a thing. We're starting it now. So I'm not favoring any of the long side. You would still need at least a day or two. I mean, you need some serious stabilization to get out of this oversold condition, and that's when things can, if you don't pivot out, you're just day over day, you can really fall apart. And that's it. I mean, those are the targets we've been waiting on. But it's been 6 months, and the market's kind of soured, without a doubt. A lot of things have soured. Uh, Really quick, QQQ, and I just kind of big update for what we've been talking about. Remember long ago, 628, and then to the 382, and there you go. This was exactly there you go. This was kind of what we said last week. That was kind of the candle. We talked about this last week where I was saying we're going to get a candle kind of like that. And well, there you go. I think that was like a week ago Tuesday. We drew this thing. And just so you know, okay, 547 QQQ is down there. Still, you're looking 20 lower today. I think this is kind of controlled selling, quite frankly. And there's not a lot here, guys. I'm surprised this is not falling apart even more so, but stuff takes time. Meanwhile, Bitcoin, guys, Bitcoin is just kind of to run off the top here the first 5 or 10 minutes, just to catch up because we missed yesterday. But Bitcoin is in that final phase, guys, where this 62 retest, look out. We're coming down here pretty quickly. Where is it? There's a shark, 62.4, but we're looking for this. So here's your number one Bitcoin chart, 4-hour time frame. We just nailed in the last 2 weeks. We nailed that 74K. Nailed 74K for Bitcoin as that top pico top, as they say. Now, looking for that full return. That's 62,779, guys. That's a mechanical number that has to get hit. Just treat that like I've been treating that for about a month like that. Now we're going to get down there. It's 62779. Minimum retest. Of course, you would still need confirmation as well. So as low as 59,650. Those are two big numbers. I think that could happen on some kind of flash crash. Not even just flash crash, just kind of a flash breakdown. This is this is the point where things do accelerate to the downside. And that's what we've been talking about with QQQ. Here we go with crypto, Bitcoin, NASDAQ, S&P. This is kind of like, all right, but it has to do the retest. We know that the weekly, and I say this from a perspective of for Bitcoin maxis who, every green bar is the beginning of a new bull market. Even if you were living your life like that, I would just say it like this. You would still need to retest this complete low, which I think we have done. 65,834. And the low 65,672. All right. But it'd be 2 more weeks. This has got to get retested, guys. There's nothing here yet. Keep an eye on the 62.2 area. That's it. 62.2 for 4-hour time frame. Until then, let's see what happens this weekend. There you go. I do want to just kind of pop up 1 or 2 more crypto that are, hopeful, still in the conversation. I don't know what much crypto is in conversation, but I thought this is pretty interesting. And again, still reasons why I would look for Ethereum still lower is really the point. You got to retest that Gartley, just like Bitcoin's. Until then, no thanks. Last confirmation, by the way, on the 4 hour was a dot, overbought, HSI, all of that matters. So nothing on Ethereum. I think you're going sub 2. The next retest is going to be a 1800 retest, guys. Hate to say it. I mean, it's you're coming down here. And I did want to just show a couple things that are popping up on the software. Daly's starting to try to put out this bat pattern, alternate bat pattern, but that's much lower. And then the weekly, which is something, again, I said we needed a couple of dots. Like if you were going to be bullish or looking for the next spot on Ethereum, it's down here after the retest, after, retesting that weekly arrow. And I've mentioned this a few times. Like, look at all these arrows. There, 2 dots, 1 dot, arrow diamond dot, bullish weekly signals. Here, even that single confirmation, you go back December 18, you guys get the picture. You need a dot, okay? I mean, again, you're going to need a dot for Ethereum. That's going to be 3 weeks away. And that could have a final flush phase, maybe 1700. I don't think that would be crazy. Now, like 1700, come back, retest the deep lows, and then see. I'm not saying bullish in any sense, in the stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying we're going to come back and retest these lows, whether they like it or not. And yeah, I would think below, which is like 1724. Maybe round it up so we don't miss it. 1725. I don't know. Is there anything crypto that looks like there's anything? Even stuff like, guys, Coinbase getting demolished again, and I'm concerned. I gotta say this, where I haven't liked Coinbase except for to the downside because of the type 2, the bat pattern for the, just a while. I mean, I on personal reasons, I should have shorted this. Didn't. It kind of really didn't get on it until a little later. Like it was up at the hop at 416, and we started saying 330 was it. But 150 was hit again, guys. And again, you break these lows, you're done. This is the 150 will not hold, and you go 886, which is sub 80. So keep an eye on that, guys. I mean, it really just is. I'm there's concern here for stocks like this that it might be over. And I'll go to the other one. Here's Circle. Circle was an IPO and they got destroyed, then produced a pretty phenomenal crab pattern at the low. Not super ideal, but okay. I mean, I'm not going to dismiss this. I was not bullish on this. Personal reasons again, but that did a type 1. Now you're doing full return mode and back to like 76. So that was, I think that was an interesting kind of reaction case. And you might say, hey, that's a massive pattern. Not really. I mean, it was a great reaction, no doubt. Hop to T2, confirmation, 120. Like 75, 80 points. But right back down. Like all of these crypto plays, if they have an up, they're going to have a down. Richmond, I'm talking to you. Anyway, what's going on, Mr. Good? He's saying he noticed every mid-year SPY monthly AMP bottoms at 30. We're at the 50s. Yeah, we're looking for that. Guys, we've been looking for this oversold situation to develop for us. We're not seeing any constructive behavior. Markets altogether are like, they're kind of floundering. And then even the big ones, like check out Google. Google has decided to roll over. And the weekly, again, we need to get oversold on these. We almost were popping out last week and then smacked right back down. That's a problem. That's a problem. I mean, again, this was just went on crazy run. Look at that diamond to diamond run. Pretty phenomenal. But we're going to need some oversold signals. And I'll just share this with you guys, okay? Like, any kind of long-term whatever there's not been much. I'm not really having a great year. It has been kind of like not doing much, and then when I do anything, it's not working. Things are not working. And crypto, forget about it. I have not placed a single trade in crypto in 2026. Period. Last one was 2025. Not a single. Nothing to do. I mean, I've got one like sack that has been just rugged. It's like ashes, but it's still some money, and it's I just got to sell it. I'm just gonna have to sell it and dump it, and just move on, move on, move on. Let's focus on the next few years. But with crypto doing stuff like that, no thanks. Google doing stuff like that, we're still in a retrace. I'll tell you this, Microsoft finally got down to those big levels that I said, all right, let's start looking at 75, maybe all the way down to 350. Well, we're there. Like, we're 359 currently, guys. And what needs to happen? I mean, check that out. Remarkable. You're down at that level here. 352.45 is that's got to get retested, and there's no confirmation. So maybe next week. This is why I'm saying there's a lot of parallels to last year. You're kind of in that maybe one more week. Check out last year. I mean, it's even in Microsoft. Same kind of massive meltdown. There you go. There's Monday the 31st. Today's the 27th, okay? Well, there's the 27th right there. 27th is trading 390. It has that capitulation drop. It bottoms at 345 and then bang, 345 to what? What was that? It went to 530, guys. And then round trip all the way back down. So it is, it is what it is. We have to let that. We're going to get oversold, and I think at this point, F it. The deeper you get in terms of the oversold, the bigger the opportunity is going to be. I mean, let this register the weekly, which it hasn't yet. I mean, there's the weekly Microsoft chart. We're going to get a dot somewhere here, maybe even need to retest, what's that, like 345 again, 343. And then monthly chart that's pretty wild too, that we're oversold, but we're going to need until April to come out of this. So I'm watching that. We've been like waiting for 350, 375. We're down here, and it feels like it's going to go to zero, right? Going to at this point, it's like, okay, there's not really registering yet. Monthly is the deepest level we have seen it. That's on HSI since 2022. So, and that came early. So that's remarkable, quite frankly. We're as oversold as 2022. If this gets If this does not hold the channel, yeah, again, I'm gonna be like, yeesh. Maybe there's something deeper going on here. I'm not there yet because literally today's day one. Today's day one of hitting that 550 level, 575, which was down here, but zero confirmation. Is there a long opportunity here? I think pretty soon. You need to trigger first. And we're oversold. HSI, at least on the daily, is oversold, guys. And that'll be popping out probably early next week. So we can wait. We can wait another week. You know, you've been in this 6 month downtrend. Just another long-term retrace. So that's basically the problem with the big tech. And you got, let me go really quick back to Bitcoin, where uh, Bitcoin's like this, guys. Uh, if we get this retrace quickly, it's not if, it's when. With tech all together, just like last year, the thing you want to line up is basically where's going to be the target. Like if this is going to really fall apart, and you're in that window again, early April between now and the next 10 to 14 days, you can get that flush. I think it's just being aware of the 59K kind of limit. Under, that's 59,650. But if we're under 59K, that's probably the real start off of the big push, flush, which gets you to probably June. Pretty incredible too. If you guys remember how Bitcoin likes to do inflections around the seasonal equinoxes, well, here's spring. Okay, so spring came out of winter here, northern hemisphere, into spring. All right, pivoting right off of that area right now. Um, Monthly close, it's all been there. I mean, it's all kind of just lining up where, okay, that bounces over. We should just only be assessing, when does this happen? When does that happen for Bitcoin? It's probably in line with the larger NASDAQ kind of flush. Is that next week? Are we here Tuesday and we're at 59.6, and then we're looking for that, which is like sub 50K easy. That's pretty much it. I mean, again, I've said this before, where it's 39K, guys. So we're here, and then you take out 59.6. That's where the hits the fan. And so what I'm thinking, that with QQQ, because QQQ now, again, probably just 2 days ago, this whole thing really got started. We've been screwing with this for a couple of weeks, and we knew this was breaking down. Well, today, tomorrow, I can't believe it's only down 1.3%. I'm looking for this to drop like 2-3% between now and Monday. And this is, gets us to not only lower prior levels, but the lower higher peaks, which is all lines up with like 540, which is what the prior high last year before that final breakout. And then retracement wise, again, guys, we have to think about what's the worst case scenario from a harmonic perspective. Worst case scenario, harmonic perspective, is 886. I'm not saying that. I'm not going there. But we have to kind of acknowledge how important this range has been. Okay, this prior range was perfectly lined up with the 1618. And so now we're looking at 382. We can deal with that. 547-ish. But you start leaking that 550, 540, then you have to kind of start stretching that there's really only one other number under 500 bucks. You guys know I'm all about levels and levels deep in advance. So if this just started in terms of being some kind of, I don't want to use the C word, the CR word, I just want to say a capitulation, the possibilities are lower, and they're probably lower now between the next 2 weeks, 10, 15 market sessions, and you're 5% lower, maybe 10% lower. Yeah, I don't know. The bounce that there's a comment that says, maybe where's the bounce? The bounce tried. They tried every week for the last like 6 weeks. And especially the last, look at these daily candles. Just mass breakdown. Breakdown. We haven't had really a higher high since the high. I mean, that failed retest broke out of a short-term high, but everyone has been a lower high. Then the lower lows are coming now. You're in a capitulation move already, but just to be clear, guys, what started now? It started yesterday, okay? With this acceleration. This can be pretty easily like a 6 to 8 bar move. This is bar 3. So down, down, down. Right into the end of the month, rolling the contracts. Okay, roll into the next month contracts. End of the quarter. Into early April, a little follow through downside. And again, you got to go back to last year. It's kind of crazy. It's really crazy, but you're here. Be aware of that. Again, you're like here, or yeah. I mean, again, you're. I wouldn't say you're quite here yet, which was like April 4th, but Friday the 28th sounds familiar. Friday the 27th with a flush, with a 10%. What was that? That was like a 15% flush. 5-6 days. So that's where we are, guys. I really, we've been leading up to this. The market has just stunk. Zero opportunities. Anything we've looked at has failed miserably. Check out HIMS, right? Was this ever going to kind of materialize off of this massive pattern? And then, no. And it just continues to roll back right back over it, which is what we said would happen. I mean, just ugly pattern dynamics here. So look at that, or avoid stuff like that. But, looking at that, things like Microsoft, as we said, still early. Google, no, thanks. Let's look at ES. Again, what are the numbers on ES? Immediately, because we're at new lows for the year. I mean, literally right now. New lows for the move. We're looking on weekly chart, just like with NQ, and just target 382. I think it's going to be something deeper, though, because of how this has just been, I don't know, just kind of slowly falling apart. Everybody sees this. And everybody's worried about the big flush between here, which is roughly 30% of the move, but 382, we know 6,300, guys. 6,300 straight on down, another 150 lower from there. And then it's either 618, which is a sub 6K retracement. That's surprising, or I'll just say full 886. Not there. But I think let's look at 63 first. It's 63 and then it's sub 6, and I don't like the sub 6. I'll just stick at 63. I guess Trump's got to be talking because market's starting to go bonzo. Check out the reflector, guys. It's moving like 10 points a second here. Is it Trump? Let's see here. Let's see here. NASDAQ up down 300 right now. Look at that. He's got to be talking. Nice 30-second bat pattern, by the way. There you go. I mean, arrow, diamond, dot. But it went up 450 down to 530. Crazy. That's 180. It's pretty interesting. He's got to be talking. Let me know if anybody's got any details on if Trump's talking or not. Amazing. That's the 30-second time frame. I mean, for today, guys, despite that crazy candle, we still haven't really had a dot during the real time sessions here. So HSI did trigger, but that's like 28,444. Just not ready. I don't in the 5 minute. No RTH. I mean it's look. There's a pattern. Completely failed. Completely failed. And I think your next 5 minute HSI is going to send this thing really tough. What are you guys looking at? I'm happy to oblige for a little bit. I'm going to go for another 30 minutes or so. If we get a setup, I mean, that was pretty crazy, but I'll keep my eye on NASDAQ on my other screen. Looking for NQ, some kind of NQ setup. Light sweet crude is up $4. There's your answer. This is going to be the case. And I started saying this to my guys, the gold member guys on Monday, that I don't look at it's a terrible structure. I'm not crazy about it, but I got to say, look, I trust the software levels. And if I'm looking for direction on any major pattern that's been generated by the software, monthly target 2 on the futures continuous contract at 140. We need to start considering that. Like something's going on here, guys. So I just we kind of have to be a little sleuthing on looking at the framework and saying, okay, yeah, we know that this is a monthly type 1. It's incredible. Like there's XA, despite the craziness during COVID, you had a perfect crab pattern. It went to target 1, came off, did not get the full type 2, but gave a higher level of perfect confirmation that it launched off of, and that was 55 bucks. Okay, and now, only other thing that I would be looking at is this prior signal, prior HSI and dot. That's at like 105. But that still needs 2 more months before that would even be considered a problem. So I think where you get above 105, guys, certainly above 110, there's nothing there. And maybe that's what's going on. Maybe, and it could happen incredibly fast. Again, it could be one of these 48-hour massive kind of explosions. But this seems to be what's happening. So if it's crude oil to 140 and hit the target 2, how do you play that? XLE, USO. It looks like they're going to just keep running. Look at that. That's amazing. XLE. What a massive move. A smasher. 1618. Take that to 75 bucks. That's up $1 today. A great slow mover. And then USO, guys, these are kind of like the other SLV, etc. This is the crazy thing about USO. This definitely is a mind-boggling harmonic pattern chart. Okay, and I don't I don't want to get too crazy on it, but I'm not ignoring this anymore. And this is one of the reasons why I'm thinking that a lot of these harmonic pattern framework assessments are saying, at least for now, there's higher prices that have to get clipped. USO with a type 1 here at 177. I mean, this week has been insane. That week, or this month, sorry. So you're up like 40 plus this month. But that's only the beginning, guys. So welcome back. USO 177.27. Again, let's start strategizing for that. And it might also explain why some of these other stock scenarios might need to go deeper. Pretty ugly. Pretty ugly. USO, though, amazing month. You're going to finish that up next month. And then, of course, the number one kind of look at Valero, guys, up another 5. Valero, just goodbye. You guys know Valero's my number one pick. Stay with it. Don't worry about it. Yes, it might retrace all the way back to 200. It might retrace all the way back to 180. But for not very long. I mean, this is just something you buy it, you hold it, you don't sell it. I've been saying that for a long time on this one. Others, like remember we were talking about rig, and I think this is something we need to start looking to. I'm looking for opportunity. I don't want to be a complete, just completely shut down on saying, all right, I'm going to wait for tech to get oversold. I want things, I want some things now. So what does Transocean have down here? $7. Bottom HSI monthly. So you got something looking left. And then remember, where's the weekly? Had some patterns here. Really nice. Now shark to 5.0 on its way up. Retest the bat. There you go. I mean, $3 back in May, of course. But now, what are you going to do? Look for these higher 9 to 11. So keep an eye on that. If you're not long, just wait. You will get a retrace. You will get a retrace. You go hourly chart. Like 635 would be a good retrace spot to start another long. But I guess this is it, right? I think this is happening. The larger oil situation, I think, is going to happen. Yep. No, and I think the overall kind of trade is dump equities, buy energy. And it's going to be an energy on year. And when energy has an on year, it's number one, and it's going to be like, outperform. Energy will do 20 something percent while tech goes down 15. We're there. Anthony wants to look at clean, CLNE. And yeah, I mean, check that out. Maybe it's time, right? Maybe it's time to start getting some of these. Because the concept of these kind of plays, all they need is this kind of crazy environment. Why not? There you go. Clean around 220. You're 253 currently. And yeah, give me 1,000. Because look at this pattern. Clean energy on the weekly is a massive bat. And I'll say this, downtrend is broken. You could say that downtrend's broken. Downtrend was really broken back here last year. Like that. Now you might be in that between $2 and $3 for the next few months, or you might break out tomorrow or Monday and be at $9. And I think you're not far from turning that scenario on. CLEN, very nice. Who put that up? Anthony. Great job, Anthony. Anthony, do you have the software? Anthony, Anthony, why don't you send me a note? Either software or gold membership. Hit me up on the Discord. I'm going to put my chat in there. And we'll give away one software right now, guys, for 30 days. If you want HPC 30. Okay, so, and that would be the code. Put that in there. I'll set you guys up. Where's the other one? There's a couple more in this space that if we're going to get this play, and we should be anticipating that, let's start looking for turnarounds. Everyone else, send your TradingView username to hpc@sr-analyst.com. Get with this software to find kick-ass patterns like this. One trade pays for 10 of them. Seriously, 1,000 shares down here at $2. Ride it to 9. I'll take that. I need that. I need that for this year. I'm definitely not exposed enough to energy. You got it. Slayer 6557. You are a winner. Slayer, hit me up on the Discord. Okay, gold membership, 30-day package, 30% discount. I like that. I like stuff like that. You know, the other one is fuel cell, and these are garbage concept stocks. I'll be really clear. These are garbage, low penny, speculative garbage stocks. But when the markets get crazy like this, you know, they've got a potential to go. And here you go. Fuel cells got a few things, but it's a little lower. $5, $4.50, $4.40. Get a pattern on it for sure. What was the other one? There was there was one more. Oh, plug. In that kind of group there. Plug power. Daily, not much. Weekly's oversold for sure. So PLUG, I gotta say, I think I like clean energy the best. CLNE. CLNE. The rest of it, probably the best way, guys, XLE. Just keep going with the XLE up to $75. And then if you really want to speculate, remember, rig, Transocean. Those are some of the ones where they could really explode, go 2, 3, 5 to 20, which is what you're looking for. I mean, let's go. Embrace it. We got to embrace it. You know, here's the deal. Okay, it is ugly. Hence today's discussion. I think we got to embrace the fact that this is going to tech and stocks are in the acceleration phase of a retracement, and it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. And it's going to look really ugly, I think, in some instances. I'll go back to BKR. Yeah, look at Baker Hughes, guys. Baker Hughes, 63, and this thing has just been a rock. BKR. A couple others really quick. Again, things that are going to win. And right now, it's energy. I showed you what to speculate in, and then here's some more that you can just fat finger long. Conoco, COP, that will break out, and that will go to 1618 territory. Conoco Phillips, MRO, Marathon Petroleum. No, MPC, sorry. Look at that, 252, guys. Brutal. Couple more. NNE, Nanuclear. All right, here's the problem with those. They're not ready yet. Nanuclear is a weekly, or no, daily bat, but there's no confirmation, and I got to show you this. They are fundamentally oversold opportunities retesting long-term support. Not a bad spot to start looking. But where's the long term? Like this is a weekly cycle. This is a weekly retrace with having already lost 60% of its value. The weekly, and it's an easy read. Look at the weekly. Where's the trend? The trend is down, and weekly HSI still lower. So I'm not looking for anything until that got oversold. And not only that, guys, you can't even expect acceleration until you got back above the 50. Those are simple techniques that are going to save you big time. If you're looking at a trend, are you breaking above the 50? Are you above the 50 on HSI? That's a critical read. So far, no. The other one is SMR. New scale. SMR, not that. SMR. And we're deeply oversold. Patterns all over the place. But again, where's the confirmation? XA was at 12, and we hit that 3 weeks ago. This could go as low as 5 before turning on any kind of confirmation. So pretty ugly. I mean, pretty ugly from the fact that it could go from 50 to 5. Not a lot behind it. Meta's at a 382. Meta is looking, where's the dot? We're oversold on the weekly again. And yeah, look, the daily. So, all right, yeah. The 575 was the hop level on Meta. I know we had patterns down there. We hit it yesterday. Smashed it, failed it. Now we're all the way back to the hop at 22, guys. Still no confirmation. What's going on here, everybody? What is going on here? Think for a minute with me. Really critical. We've been looking for down. We're looking for this retrace. How deep is this retrace going to unfold? Where are we going? I think we need to start thinking, even ones that haven't done it yet, that a lot of stocks, if not most of them, are going to do an 886 retest of last year's lows. I really, let's get in front of this. So if you are bullish, you're not jumping in. Not yet. 886 for Facebook's like 519. And that's just one of a few that have already done it. Yet other stocks are just begging to go there. Google. The 382 failed. And now what? The shark pattern failed. No I mean, there was the type 1. Popped up and then failed. And so, again, daily, 382 is right there, 270, 270. But that's just first stop. I think you got to start thinking, how does the market get lower? Stuff like Google, really start retracing. Really start retracing. Ever since that confirmation up here at 340, 350, the daily the weekly had a few things where, all right, that was it. That was the move. Now we're in the retrace phase. And again, long term, super bullish on Google. How can't you be? Right now, you went from 150 to 350, come back to 250, come back to 220. And look what happened on the weekly here. HSI dumps it back down. So guys, this sets up literally next week, next 10 days, we're going to have probably a follow through big flush. And this is the other thing with HSI, where when you get into the extreme and you're not just an instant impulse move, you start like breaking down. This is where real price expansion can happen. Like minimum breakdown for anything has to be at the 50. But you get into here and you're flushing this out. Look, price can really fall apart. Look at last year. Last year was like this. Similar. You got oversold, and that was early March. So HSI didn't move that much. You were 30 here, and you went to 10, and that was twice the move. That's where we are now, guys. Again, I think you're like getting to almost half the move. Maybe the half the move will be the 382. And the second half of the move could be something 180. This is lower. The way this is lined up, especially the last, I don't know, 3 to 5 days, this is falling apart where it should have turned around. It is, again, let's get in front of it. I know it seemed like this thing it's too late, but no. And here's the final one. Robinhood, guys, it's about to round trip last year. Last year, amazing. Again, incredible. Incredible move. I caught a big chunk of that move last year. And then was really angry as just sharing with you guys that I felt like I missed from like 95 to 150. Now I'm just like, all right, I had signals up there. And with what's happened today, yesterday, the breakdown, the only thing is to do that looping retest, $30. $30, guys. $30 on Hood. No long opportunity. So I'm looking for this literally the next week to fall apart. Where's NASDAQ right now? Terrible. Down 412, 382. This might as well be sub 3K, 23K already. There you go. Let's go back to NASDAQ, guys. 1, 2. Oh, look at that. 1, 2 with the bat. Now we're at lows for the day. And so where is this going? I think today you still need a couple of 5-minute green bars. If you did retest that HSI right there. You tested that low and you failed it. That was 440. Oh, the 4 hour. Look at this. So for me, the whole butterfly we've been talking about for the last week or more, if this is a big failure, check it out, which it is. We go to the 1618, which is 23.8. Sorry, 23.390, 375, where we are right now. Hold on, let me get that right. No. There it is. It's not 370. Hold on. This is for today. Even though we're bouncing up a smidge. 250, 260, guys. 23,260 on this move, if not worse. Let's see, keep selling I think every 30 second dot has been spot on. I want to say this too. I've been seeing a lot of super wiki 30-second and 5-second things like this, where you get the T2 and then confirmations all the way down here. Really difficult. It's been one of my frustrations. We got to let them go. Stuff like this, where you've got a relatively nice counter trend rally off that low, And these are the ideal selling opportunities all day long. You're in an obvious downtrend. We know that. So we're just looking for shorts. Gets oversold, bounces up, becomes a T1. The software generates it, and sometimes just looking for T1, T2 and the dot, put your eyes right where they need to be. 23, 512, 1, 2. This second opportunity, that was crazy. We were starting right there, looking at that. That's not a real doable trade, no doubt. Unless you're going to just try to plumb these hop levels, which is going to be probably something I talk about on another, like a whole dedicated strategy session of simply targeting HOP levels on the software. Software's been great, guys. I'm really happy with what we have tweaked. I think some of the new updates TradingView has put out recently has helped facilitate better alerts, multi-condition alerts. I do know people have been asking me, how can we signal alerts for the HSI dots? And that's in this function here. Click the alert button. Okay, and then you got to select the settings and make sure that when you go into the settings, it's in HSI arrows, by the way, for the dot itself, and you're looking for, because we got to create one at a time as well. So the first one would be a bearish dot, HSI dot. You select that, and we want it crossing up. And I say above the 50, even though that might delay it a little bit, you're then in the right spot. And create and go. We're working on integrating these signals. So we're still, like I said, always working on this thing. The daily, excuse me, the panel, the indicator panel for the combo signal, by the way, is something that I will be rolling out too. That's on the indicators. Everything that you're looking for is on invite only. I will be, where is it, combo? No, that's indicator. Where's the panel? Hold on one second. Okay, there's this one is actually, that's the new one. So I'm gonna roll this out, start talking about this next week. So a new little toy twist that is all designed to highlight not only just the dots, but incorporating the diamond and combo indicators that we've been talking about for a while. Okay, so NQ up back at 400, great. You just rallied 50 off the low, almost 40 off the low. Ideal, great. Look, let's get an oversold. Overbought signal for the continuation. Again, for today, guys, I'm looking lower, as low as 23. Was it 23.2? Here, it's the 1618. I mean, basically, at this point, we're at a 1618 of the range. So 1618 down move for today is 23.3, 23.4. Almost got there to 75. Yeah. What's up, SMP? Yeah, we looked at QQQ, and that target is 447, 547. What's up, Wayne? No, it's 547. Again, I do think this is the start of the acceleration we've been talking about for weeks. But it's going to be slower than last year. On the 4-hour chart, it is a butterfly, guys, that failed. You had confirmation with that on the check back, it failed. We were targeting 883 for the last few days. Full return move. And this has been something that it was a great return trade. Pretty clear, right? Last session, last week, we said, okay, that's got reaction written all over it. Why? It was one candle, it hit T2, it couldn't follow through, and then when it broke under 24.4, it just flatlined and rolled. So we knew that from 24.4 to 23.888, that was a pretty clear downside bias. Now, confirmation and failing altogether, really nothing until you reset. Like, I think what you're looking at immediately is HSI is going to roll down, get oversold. What is it? It's 137, into the next 4 hours, next 4 hour bar, which starts in 20 minutes. That should flush it. I mean, big flush, guys. I'm looking, like I said, at 23.3 today, and then next week we do the big down move. Big down move, like I said, for the NASDAQ futures is all it is. It's weekly retracements. And that's, for me, go 382, guys, right now. 382 here is 23,150, 23,160. And even this thing, we said for a long time, the immediate weekly was a 1618. And that's like 23, what's that, 20, come on, 20, that's like 23K on the button. All these numbers are stacking up. I don't care, you're 23.4 and you're down 400. All of our minimum levels are 23K, 23.1. Get me a 30-second dot. Get me something like this. Write it on down. And so, it's down 400. We could be down 600 easily by the close. That's the kind of thing I'm looking for. Nothing, this is already rolling over. This thing is done, guys, for today. Big down today and then wash out Monday. Like, capitulate Monday. You're seeing it right now as we speak. This is already in the meltdown phase. The price hasn't happened yet. So as I said, my frustration is we've not had too many overbought dot signals. That was probably the best one right after lunch. And this one we started looking at it here. We'll get another. Again, I'm trying to be more patient. It's really one of my tough, because I'm tempted to take more shots and an opportunity to try to catch it and say, all right, this is happening. And that, when you start doing that, and then things don't work out. Like, you're like, oh, this is going to flush to all-time new lows. And it's the exact low. And it just turns on a dime. And that's when you know. So maybe we'll retest this back at like 410, currently 390, 388. 5-second time frame. Even that has not been great. Bearish. I had this, where is it, this morning? Where was it? It was right at the top, right after the open. Crab pattern. And I just sat there and watched this. It was at 630. 633 was the ideal. No confirmation, even a bullish. And I didn't take the short. Ended up being a monster. So just to kind of alleviate some of your frustration that it's been a little tricky out there, at least for the ideal signals, but stick with it. Like, I favor going with the trend. Trend is lower. I favor 30-second minimum patterns and signals with those 5-second little triggers. Like, I don't know, here's not really even looking at that, but a bullish shark. Really more looking for like bearish opportunities. pretty much here, like 507. What was going on there on the 5-second time frame? You know, it was right there. 30-second pattern, overbought trigger, and up here you had a 5-second shark pattern, potential continuation. That's kind of how I've been stacking these for the best opportunities. But this might have been, yeah, I mean, I didn't really hit much this morning, but been looking at stuff like that. No confirmation. Tough one. No confirmation on 5-second. 30-second time frame. Well, you had, go back here, you had a quick dot. These windows have been fast. So I just want to highlight some of the things to really focus on, because when we're looking at execution, you get a great, the patterns look great, guys. The software is amazing. It really is like the software is a dream for me. I really am like, I'm grateful that I've pursued this project because we have such accurate levels. But I'm going to be the first to say that you have to be there as it's happening, 100% attention, because the real window to make those decisions to pull the trigger are seconds, 30 seconds, something like that kind of a window. Hold on. Where'd it go? Yeah, let me take that out. You know, into that kind of highlighted window. It triggers and you have like 1, 2, maybe 3 bars to make that shot and the optimal entry. And I'm a big believer. You get your analysis right, you get your entry right, that's 80% of the work. 80% of the work, because what should happen if you're positioned properly is an immediate movement in your direction. You're not screwing around. So with HPC, that's been my focus. And maybe some of it for me has been like, I haven't been ready to trade. Like I got other things going on. Maybe I need to focus more on literally just sitting my butt in front of the screen and letting things materialize like that. 365 down 430 at the moment, guys. Haven't had anything really, looking for some kind of bearish continuation. Maybe just on a 5-second, like just clip it. There's the 5-second chart, and anything that would say, all right, give me a dot, even here. Kind of surprising action. We have not had too many smooth, overbought, oversold signals that get us where we need to go. It's like this. Hold on. You know, you're up here. There's a T2 bat, but there's no dot, no confirmation. Not what you're looking for. Here is a bullish pattern, but again, the hop level 70, the dot's all the way down here at 65, 66. And you get a little bounce, but every little bounce is just reaction. I think maybe 92 goes shark to 5-0. See if that works out. 100-point pop coming, Pete says. I don't know, man. I really, it's been lackluster. There's really not a lot of cause to be longing in this environment and longing into a weekend. Just not. And so maybe that's also, I think that's been part of why I haven't seen too many strong counter trend rallies. I mean, look, this was 5-second chart. We pop up to 78 and we're right back down 15 points in a heartbeat. Signals keep printing just not very nice scenarios. Shark pattern, yeah. But where's the long on the shark? It's all the way down here. And you go right into a counter, like you react from 63 to 82, but then got overbought immediately, so right back down. And that's been the problem with the longs. And the short positions, I'm looking for that perfect entry. I haven't really seen too many. 30-second time frame, and that's usually been my minimum. Like, give me something on a 30-second time frame, link up with the 5, jump on it. 365 right now, down 430. Like I said, daily, weekly, all of these are just, they're finally cracking. Really finally cracking. So again, you're going to have a lot of momentum traders, people piling on to see how far they can push this. I'm going to, again, I really want to be in front of this so that Harmonic people know that we have lower levels to deal with. And for the NASDAQ, like I said, if it's a 382 right off the top, we still have work to do. And that's like 230-ish. But I'll say this, we are technically still getting kind of ruled by this bat pattern. It failed, kind of. It's not great, but I've seen these situations where it's still a type 1, and I'm not going to be crazy if target 1 is hit at some point in the next 30 days. That's 20K, 27, 20,700. That, again, guys, this acceleration just started 2 days ago. It's what we've been talking about for about, I don't know, a couple months, since really up here. And January, the early retracement had taken the entire first 3 months of the year. Yeah, couple more. Yeah, I'll look at what you guys want. What's up, Floyd? 614 on the SPY. Yeah, why not? I think it's, are we going to go sub 600? That would be deeply oversold, in my opinion. You get down to sub 600 on the SPY, then, all right, we've done damage. Go from 700 under 600, get to a 15 or 20% correction. Yeah, then you're at that point. Here's the 4-hour chart, guys. And where are we? We're about to go into 10 more minutes until the next bar. So is this going to just keep dropping? 10 minutes. I'll go to the top of the hour. And we'll see. I don't, like I said, just some lame oversold triggers. Not a lot going on here. Other than give me a reaction and keep selling. A couple more. Yeah, I hear you, Echo, but I don't think we were surprised. Right? Silver? What's going on? Mr. Laura. Silver. Remember Tuesday, I was constructive on it, and I said, hey, this is looking a little better. We're going to start considering it down here. Went up, then got crushed yesterday. I guess this is just how it's going to go. We have a dot today, and it's pretty clear that the 65-70 area needs to hold. That's it. Needs to hold right now. I'm not there yet for this thing to accelerate to the upside because of this. So HSI, look for it next week. If we don't get this breakthrough move, then silver is going to get rejected at a really key spot. And that's coming next week. I think the dot here definitely helps you. We actually should have a second dot somewhere. I don't know where that is. But tomorrow, Monday, maybe that's day 1. The weekly chart really needs another dip down. I'm not, look, I think silver longer term, what happened the last 6 months to go up and then have the correction it did, it's not the end of it. I think it's just kind of a new phase where you're in the retracement but the longer term uptrend, silver going to reach a bottom, and you're going to get an eventual longer term continuation whenever that does bounce. If it's 60 or if it's 70, so be it. I think it starts next week. Get a low in April and start to resume it. For SLV, that's down there at 60, maybe 62-ish. Really close. That's SLV. And I think these make sense once they trigger the next oversold signals to be kind of long-term asset plays, where our assumption is that in the next 10 years, silver will probably be double where it is today. You're buying it SLV at 60, it goes to 120 in the next 5 or 10 years. I don't think that's crazy. So let's get through this. Yeah. Couple more. SWKS. I like that. Down 3 today. I still like it. Skyworks Solutions. Retesting. All right, back at 53. Confirmations 52.50. Keep an eye on that. That brand new. Brand new. About 2 weeks ago. I like that one. I like M-Chip. Like that. Daily, where's the weekly? Weekly's oversold. Still early, guys. These are in a retrace, but I'm targeting these for when they pivot out. M-Chip, 62. What was the other one? M-Chip, Skyworks Solutions, and On Semi, ON. Those are probably the top 3. Looking for this on a retrace of things that are destined to kind of do a massive breakout. There's On Semi. Multi-year downtrend broken out with perfect crab pattern. Give me the next oversold signal. But again, guys, semiconductors in general, that's where we want to hopefully here's SMH. Let's get a bigger correction down on SMH to resume that uptrend. But that's what's been waiting on. That's what NASDAQ's been waiting on. Waiting on semiconductors to roll over. That's it. STLA or TSLA? STLA is Stellantis. What's that, daily or weekly? Daily. Stellantis, guys. I mean, nice pattern. I agree with that. 650. Okay. But weekly, take a look. I mean, really, we're all the way at the lows. I would want to see a dot. And you're at a 886 retrace already. Careful with that. That's probably a couple weeks away. Bring up HSI and check out where HSI is. Let me know. Come back here in a couple weeks when HSI is above 50. Then maybe we could start thinking something. And some of those others, I've talked about NEO, which is, I've got patterns down there, trying to make some progress. I still think it's super early, but, NEO down here, it's probably more like 450 or $5, but that's a thought. And what was the other one? Rivian, right? Got our eyes on this for a while. I don't think they're ready just yet. Rivian, I think, needs a dot. And it's probably back at like 14. So again, lining up opportunities. Things are not ready to go yet. We'll see. Hold on. NQ got a dot. Bullish dot or a bearish dot? Yeah, it's just rolling over. New lows, guys. 351. I think we go to 240 right now. What time is it? It's 1:57. Like I said, let me go to top of the hour here. Anything else you guys want to look at, let me know. Tesla is same kind of a deal. We love Tesla, but we've been talking lower prices for a while because of the weekly. So 340 is almost there. The only problem with this is it's taken time. It's taken 6 months. But framework was perfect. Type 1 back for the 2. And I think minimum 340 before we even look for anything else. We can go lower, no doubt. But it's, for right now, 340. Yeah, 22.8. What's up, Nick? 22.8 does line up. 348, 347 on QQQ. So we're there. You know, just got to drop it 20 points. William wants to look at Cubic. Man, what is this and why? I mean, hanging tough. Cubic. Don't know, my friend. There's a weekly. For you, I hope it goes at least back up, retrace the prior high. I don't have anything, you know, but I would say, and if you're still asking about this and still holding this, you know, again, you're whatever you're holding it for, I guess just keep holding it. Or if you come back to this bat pattern, please think about getting out there. Think about if you come back, because, I mean, in its history, maybe. There's a lot of others. Guys, remember XRP. You know, XRP is slowly getting to my 75-cent target. And I think that's going to be a minimum level. Now 132. This is a bad capitulation away from hitting that level, and we've done that before. Okay, there it is. This is XRP. 886 all-time swing retracement is 79 cents. And let's say we do the crazy looping type 2. That is back at 31 cents. And I'll know many people who have, in principle, I think, according to what they told me, that they were holding XRP forever, would be a massive multi-year round trip. That just is really difficult for me to, you know, swallow. I told you guys my adventures with this. I've been out for a long time and grateful that I was able to. Caught it up, went back in, caught some down, gave up, and have been just throwing in the towel ever since. That this was a looping type 2 retest. So I'll take the 886. I don't think that's crazy. I think it's XRP is 132 right now. You go sub a dollar pretty easily, or if you're going to just XABCD, it is a shark. And that shark is like 44 cents. So that's the outlook on crypto. If I was saying this a year ago, I think people would have doxed me, lynched me, whatever. But now it's a little more permissible to talk like this because it's coming true. Solana's the other one, guys. So if people are chomping at the bit because they say, yeah, Solana, you know, it's just going to end all be all. This is it. This is the low, Pico low, 82 bucks. No, it's minimum 47. And then we'll see. Not just in the meantime, we did put a dot in last week. 2 weeks ago, we're trying to retest that, but nothing changes on Solana's kind of downtrend
continuation to 47, bar over bar, month over month. There's daily. And this is for me, like if you're looking for a number on Solana and even all of Bitcoin, all of crypto, including Bitcoin, it's going to be stuff like this. 72.95 on Solana is like 59K on Bitcoin. You break 72.95 and close under that on a daily, it's over. And we're already getting the counter signal to say this is a total garbage pattern. Total garbage. At least the hop held for a little bit, but right back down. The only thing that is left to do here is for the price to go there. Everything else is in complete place. So let me be super clear. Ready for a bigger flush, guys. Just prepare yourself for a bigger crypto flush. And then don't be surprised when we get down to all of these monthly and all-time 886s. Because that's what crypto does. Crypto, in the end here, and this is going to be, some people might take this the wrong way. But in the end, and I'm talking the last 5 to 10 years, the crypto cycle is not a growth cycle. It's not a growth cycle. We put basic numbers together, minimum X, A, B, C, D considerations. These are just repeating past cycles. There, 21, 886 retracement. They're doing it not only in the same coins, but they're doing it basically all of them. All of them are doing, except for Bitcoin, are doing these big moves straight up, 113 type moves, and then roll back down for the 886. We are just on the backside of a larger 886 and understanding that from peak to trough, you're talking years. We're talking months. And that all of that takes time. A lot of noise in between, but to go from here all the way back for the reset, that's years of life. And so easy to lose perspective within that time frame and try to talk yourself out off a ledge when the clear 886 retrace is unfolding. Look out. Couple more. Salesforce.com, a long time trender, winner. Let's go back there. That's for Mr. Good. And here we are, all the way back down, similar to 2022. What needs to happen, guys? We need an oversold trigger, something like this. Here's the other thing. This retracement is starting to feel and look a lot like 2021, 2022. NASDAQ, S&P, they are seemingly kind of repeating. Check out Salesforce. What do we have? X, A, B, C. Well, that's a shark. It's not a bat. All the way down, 1618, 886. Pretty much like that. And here we are again. Salesforce. A, B, C. And then D is a 1618, 886. Got to take it lower because your 1618's lower. So it's shaping up, guys. That this retracement that we've been waiting on is looking uglier. Uglier than we thought. Salesforce, talk to me at 120, not 180. And we got to embrace it. Navigate this. These are like some rough waves that are about to crash on our shores. Adobe, Oh my, what happened to Adobe? AI absolutely destroying Adobe. I mean, what do you need Adobe for? Adobe is already 60+% off its all-time high. Down here at 223 is the hop. Has really not yielded much at all, and I'm just going to stand back. Get to 223, currently 234. There's not an opportunity here, and I'll tell you why. HSI, amplified, they have not even bottomed. It's troubling. I mean, this thing's down 60%, but look, you're deep oversold. HSI, pivot out, but you need to get above the 50. Let that stuff drop. Guys, it's too early to try to get in on this. This is like Robinhood. Robinhood's got that larger possibility of losing another 50%. Adobe, same deal. Where are we at? Let me take a look. Just brutal. 346, guys. New lows for the session, and here we go. Well, at least you've got a little 30-second time frame, but there you go. 5-second chart. Nothing. I mean, really not a lot to go on. Oh, last one up here. Maybe we'll get one more dot at 47. Again, I'm targeting for as low as 250 today. So still down. When we get to those, like another 100 lower. Now down 450. And I think people are just selling to sell. $30 weeks after 30 months could be 30. Listen, the whole scenario of the fact that the weekly 1618. Remember this. We're here. We've been dealing with the 1618 for the better part of 6 months now. No, on the QQQ. Sorry. Let's do that because that worked. Up at 628. There. Okay. The 1618 was there at 625, 6 whatever. Right there. 30 weeks, guys. That's another way to be lining this up of possibilities. Brings you to here. And we're week 21. 22's next week. 30 gets you to late May. And the same deal as last year. When we hit that 1618, which was our upside target last year, same kind of a thing. Wait a minute. That wasn't one. Hold on. That wasn't a one. What was that last year? There was something. Maybe it was a daily crab last year. Hold on. Yeah, it was a butterfly. So that was last year's pattern. I knew last year was pretty sweet. We were in that 30-day window, 30-bar window. This daily butterfly. Look, market peaked essentially there right around Christmas. And then took 30 weeks. There you go. So looking for the same kind of a thing. We are, I would say it's probably next week. Yeah, it's like right there. And we're 18 weeks to realize that big drop. We're now 21, 22 next week. Couple others. 343 right now. This is just amazing. We're going to be looking at this next few weeks saying, didn't that tell us that wick, that wick, that wick, 4, 5, another nasty wick? Remarkable. Opportunities. So we talked about looking at things like Transocean. We talked about looking at things like clean energy, CLNE, and playing some kind of larger turnaround. Probably a good place to be fishing at the moment. The rest of it, crypto, complete avoid. Big tech, wait for that stuff to kind of drop into place. Some of the other ones we've mentioned, like Clorox, like where are the opportunities? Clorox, massive weekly retest down here. I would start looking at this next week. Kind of a defensive play, but beyond that, there you go. Monthly crab pattern or bat pattern. I mean, ideas, stuff that might work over the next few months, because getting this flush, I think we're going to see some damage. What was the other one? Target, 119, 120, up to 56. We're going to have to start looking at areas not big tech. I mean, other areas where they've completed, now they're making some continuation. Target here at 120. You probably start moving because of the daily dot. The rest of it, yeah. What's going on, Nzak? Up and away says NASDAQ's below the 52-week average. Yeah, it's under everything. I mean, NDX, that indice itself, not looking good. I mean, it's not a surprise. We've been waiting for that breakdown. It just kind of extended itself out 2 months before walking the plank. And this is a walk in the plank, guys. This is, if I had a stick man, I would say, okay, here's the diving board. And here, let me get a little guy here. Yeah, so here's my guy. All right. And my guy right here is forming his body. And then there's some hands that he's going to dive into. All right. And he's going to say, let's have some fun. And let's take a dive, because it's something like that. So 22.8, sub 23K, just that's what you're looking for. That next week to do the flush. That's pretty funny. Little bounce. Maybe we got something. Let me go over to NQ really quick. 350, little 30-second bounce. Okay. Little 5-second trigger here. Little pattern. At 52. Again, no pattern. Come on. Where's 30-second? See, not even oversold or overbought on the 30-second yet. Wait on that one. You might have a little return trade here, guys, if the 30-second time frame can roll over. What are we? We're already 215. Let's see what's up. Couple others. CLNE, we already looked at. Tusk is like this. That's another low floater. Mammoth Energy. Oil field. Well, guys, I think you can start looking. I guess the real takeaway from the day is that we're kind of saying crude oil's got a shot to go to 140. crazy, I know, but that's probably the catalyst for the market. 175 is your bat pattern here, and you're up 21. Yeah, I mean, today, no. Next week, maybe. And you're probably looking for that to go to 5. I like Transocean a little bit better. I don't know this one, but not bad. Clean Energies looks really good. Is BTC big tech? No, but it's probably the weaker, kind of lower level. It's like QQQ JV. Broadcom for eggs. Eggs, I'm really surprised by what's going on in Broadcom. I'm still long in stock, and I'm not liking it, but I'm going to hold it in. I'm really surprised we're 300. So we had some prior gaps down here. It's, daily time frame chart's been printing some uglies, some real uglies. And we're just going to have to see how this shapes up. I'm concerned that this is going to do some kind of wash down here. Again, the market is not in a position that I would say it's only constructive to the downside. So how far? Yeesh. Like really, that was a crusher. Hey guys, look at Bitcoin. Now down 3,000 on Bitcoin for the day. 65.7. We're just one day away from that 62.7 retest. Again, I really think this is all going to happen the next 3 days. You're going to have kind of the final flush over the weekend. I think crypto is going to do it this weekend. And you go 65 to 60. I mean, at least 62.7. There's nothing here to stop this. Everyone else, by the way, is just kind of looking at the trend line violation, bear flag or whatever. Yeah, I mean, again, the sentiment, anybody can say what they want to say, but, when your chart looks like this and you continue to break down, just like last time, remember? Sideways channel, continuation flush, you're like right here on this. And it is just, all of these are just 1618, throw it down moves. There's your 1618. On that last breakdown was 70, went to 60. This 1618 for Bitcoin, that's how you really do it. You're 40, 44, 45. Guys, I hate to do this stuff. I really do. I don't like it when I have to not only look at a bearish scenario and just kind of admit to myself that's what's going on here. But you need a strategy to literally wait it out. Like, a lot of times I don't want to go short. And so I'll just sit on the sides. And it's been months. For the most part, it's been months on the sidelines. But this is how it goes. If I want to trade the markets and be a little aggressive, I do it with the futures. But longer term stocks are committing new money, investment money. We're not there yet. It's like last year's deal where if you went in early, you got crushed. We don't need to go in early. Your finger won't let you sell BTC. And I get it. I mean, if you're that long on Bitcoin, my suggestion is you plan for some kind of long-term tax strategy where you're either gifting it or putting it into a trust or something like that. I mean, at this rate, it's down 50%. Again, If you're a longer termer, your minimum timeline is like 2030. For me, no, I can't do the 50, 60% drawdowns. I can't. I told you guys that last fall. And, I basically threw it in the towel. It was October. Now we're almost April. That's that's insane. All right, 30-second bat pattern. Do we have something here? 5. A little 5-second. What is this? It's a shark. No confirmation. Brutal. 23, 370. 373. This is what I'm talking about. This will probably work. Go back to 50, but I will not force it. I don't have any confirmation up here. No dot, no, not even an arrow. And there it goes. Type 1 reaction. And that happens, guys. Let's walk through this and let's kind of wrap it up. REI for domestic gas. What's up, Grace? Sure. I'm interested in these low floaters because if things get crazy, guys, these will pop. If we're going to go into the summer with crazy gas prices, which maybe that's what's going to go down. It's in the charts. So I want to say it now and say it again. 140 light sweet crude is a possibility. Ring energy on the daily at 160. Again, we were looking for the pullback. Get back to 129. But I do, guys, I think looking at like rig, I told you this, rig, get it on the radar. I mean, 220 to 6, $7, 6, 7. But the longer term chart's impressive. It's like this longer term chart. So you got a higher low for the first time ever since this complete collapse way back in 25, summer 25. This thing has not even moved. But I'm there. There was one or two others. Constellation Energy is a monster. CEG, guys. $6, down up 6 today. That had a 4-hour pattern here. So watch the deep crab, but this is another great opportunity. Looking lower. But that's what we want to line up. I don't know. Get it. Grok's telling Victoria to buy on April 21st at 22.5. I like that. I think it is. I think 22.8 has to get tested in the next 3 days. And the rest of it, I mean, guys, this is like a buyer beware market. So if we're going to buy junk, make sure it's not crap. And geez, Christmas, look at that. 358 on Microsoft now. Bah. Unbelievable. 350. 354. No, I think I got some things going on today too. Yeah, told you guys. So there was the type 1. I'm going to leave it here. Great type 1. But I've been not getting ideal signals, so I'm chilling. I'm going to chill. I'll come back at this next week. My targets are lower though, guys. Glad we get this update in. Everyone, have a great weekend. I think I'm going to wrap it here. If you want to get a crack at the software, you need a discount, you want to try the gold membership, just DM me on Discord. We've been doing a lot of the trading and again, like I said, I want signals to be perfect all the time. Sometimes we don't get them. We're in a tough market, but that's part of the deal. But we'll talk more about that next week. We'll be back on Tuesday. Hit the subscribe button to get notifications when we do special events like this. And yeah, everyone else, listen, just get over to harmonictrader.com as a basic member, and then the software, 2 weeks free. Send your TradingView username to hpc@sr-analyst.com. We'll set you up, and we send you videos and everything. But again, you guys see the framework in action, and it's telling us lower, getting uglier, but that's okay. All right. Until then, until next week, guys, have a great one. You got it. Go get them. We'll catch you on Tuesday.